Welcome to EDU 709, Innovative Uses of Technology. In my two lessons, I'll be discussing iPads, Poll Everywhere, Class Wiki, and Prezi. My first lesson, I'm going to be teaching Algebra 1, and I'm going to be teaching about zero and negative exponents. The two pieces of technology that I'm using are Poll Everywhere and iPads. One of the things that was lacking in my classroom was formative assessment data. I gave students formative assessment questions on a daily basis, but I had no way of tracking the data. With Poll Everywhere and an iPad, I'm now able to track student progress. In my first lesson, I'm going to use iPads and Poll Everywhere. I will be teaching zero and negative exponent rules. I start by explaining the material and showing a few examples. Once I finish, I give the students a few practice problems. In the past, students would use a dry erase board, and they'd have to wait for the thumbs up before they could go to the next one. With Poll Everywhere and an iPad, students can do their work on an iPad. When they finish, they can submit their answer to Poll Everywhere, and they can move on to the next problem. The iPad allows students to do several problems without losing their work. It also gives me an opportunity to work with students who may have made mistakes. As students finish and submit their responses, the chart is updated live. After everyone has had a chance to submit their answer, the teacher can go back in and find out exactly how many people got it right and how many people still need help. Another neat feature with Poll Everywhere is the ability to ask open-ended questions. A teacher does not need highly advanced and technical skills to use Poll Everywhere. Important qualities a teacher should have are good knowledge. Important skills that a teacher should have are good knowledge of formative assessment, ability to write good questions, and the ability to create a Poll Everywhere slide. Most students should have the skills necessary to be successful using these innovations. The only skills that need to be taught to students are where to find the necessary apps. The major advantage of this project is the teacher gets to collect formative assessment data. Students also get immediate feedback. It's a very easy lesson for the students to use, and you're able to save student work using the interactive whiteboard app. The major disadvantage of this project is the cost of the iPads. An alternative to iPads would be using cell phones. However, I found students less willing to use cell phones to text answers than they are using iPads to text answers. Another disadvantage for the teacher is it is very time consuming to create the polls, especially mathematics polls. The main instructional strategy used here is providing immediate and meaningful feedback. This innovation is easily transferable to any other subject in education and any setting where someone would want to get feedback. Math and science are a bit challenging because you have to use LaTeX programming to type in the math equations, but other courses like English would be very easy to use. The second lesson that I'm going to introduce, innovative uses of technology, is a simple vocabulary lesson. For most sections in math, we have vocabulary. Typically, I put the definition on the board, the students copy it down, and I have to wait and make sure everyone gets it done. Then after everyone copies it down, we can talk about it and discuss what it means. This tends to be an interrupter to the lesson. So in order to reduce the amount of time spent during the lesson, we're going to use that time at the beginning of the hour. Many times, the beginning of the hour is spent dealing with administrative tasks like taking attendance, getting students their missing work. Now, students can grab an iPad, copy down the vocabulary, and then when we get to it during the lesson, then we can break it down and talk about it. Students will access the wiki using a shortcut on the home screen of the iPad. They'll choose their course, scroll down to the current week, choose the vocabulary, and they are all set to view the Prezi. Prezi allows students to navigate through the presentation at their own pace. The students will copy down vocabulary words into their notes. The teacher skills required for this lesson are pretty minimal. The teacher needs to be able to sign up and use a wiki, and they need to be able to link their wiki to outside sources. They will also need to know how to use a Prezi or how to search and find a Prezi that fits their needs. Student skills are also pretty basic. They'll need web navigation skills, note-taking ability, and they'll have to know how to use the media player to navigate through the Prezi. The technology skills are pretty minimal as well. The students will have to know where the app is on the home screen, and they'll have to know how to navigate Prezi. Advantages of this project are they maximize the instructional time, they minimize the disruption during the lesson where students have to stop and copy notes down. And during the lesson, there'll be more time devoted to discussion and understanding versus copying, and students get to copy the notes down at their own pace. Disadvantages of the project are iPads are very costly. It's very time consuming to create a Prezi. It's time consuming to keep a wiki updated. And in order to have everyone view the Prezi, you must have an internet connection. The instructional strategy used here is summarizing and note-taking. The transferability of this innovation to other disciplines is easily transferred. Anyone who presents can use Prezi. It adds a unique dynamic to the presentation. It is engaging, and it seems to be a little less static than PowerPoint. So anybody can use it. It's fairly easy to use. And thank you for viewing my screencast on innovative uses of technology.